Hey everybody, Sean Morsey. I'm back once again with a weekly video, and we are going to talk this week about building a real estate team, specifically as a buy and hold real estate investor in the Chicagoland area, and why we should build one, when we should do it, and what we should look for when building a team. So let's dig right into it for the next 5 minutes. So first of all, let's cover the topic of why you should have a real estate team to begin with, right? So I covered a few important points here I wanted to point out to listeners. First and foremost, you're a general tradesman as a real estate investor. Master of none, right? So having said all that, by handing off specific tasks to professionals that do this activity on a day-to-day basis, you're going to get it done right the first time. You're ultimately going to take less time doing it than doing it yourself. And you're going to be able to build your network along the way, right? So my second point in building a team is that you're building a solid foundational network with the idea that those people are going to get you in touch with other people to help build your team, build your real estate portfolio, find distressed deals, so on and so forth. So all good reasons, right? Reason number 3 as to why you should build a real estate team. It comes down to scalability and how quick you can do it and what kind of foundation you're laying out for yourself. So at the end of the day, if you are doing it all yourself, you're going to be running around with your head cut off. If you've got individuals you can actually hand that transaction off to, hand that marketing task off to, you're going to have less on your plate so you can focus on, the 80-20 rule, the 20%, so that you can go out there, find your next deal, and scale quicker, better, and with a stronger foundation. So with that in mind, let's talk about what we should look for, or what we should do to help screen and find those team members, right? So first and foremost, my thought process, it all comes down to what your goals and what your strategy is. So if your goals are to be, financially free, let's say achieve 2 times what your monthly expenses are at the end of year 3, then you should label that out, identify why you want to be there. You've already identified the when, and then what your strategy is going to be to get to that point. So it all comes down to your goals and strategy. Once you understand what that goal is and what that strategy is in a general sense to get there, then you need to fall back on what tasks need to be completed in order to get you there. And it could be year 1, you're going to have a sub goal. Year 2, you're going to have a sub goal. Year 3, you've got the monster goal. What are you going to do each of those years to get there? And once you've got those tasks identified, which professionals or team members will help take some of those tasks off of your plate so that you can focus on getting to that long-term goal as soon as possible. Now, naturally, you need to account for the fact that when you are making this task list, that you're not going to burden yourself with too much expense in the process of getting these team members, but at the same time, you're going to be able to take enough off your plate so that you can make things more efficient for yourself. So identify your goals and tasks. Then after you've got that task list, you want to start identifying the professions that are necessary to tackle those tasks. Number 4, reach out to your network to find folks in those professions or can cover that task list for you that are going to act in a professional manner and meet your budgetary needs. So that could be falling back on social media. It could be falling back on different real estate investment clubs in the local area, folks that know folks that have worked with folks that can ultimately recommend them to you. Or it could be as simple as social media and going through reputable review websites. At the end of the day, it's a filtration system you need to run those individuals through so that you ultimately can come up with really a list of 3 in my eyes for each of those professions that specify what they're able to do as your team member and what they're going to do to identify you. To benefit you, right? And then next thing you want to do is screen those individuals. Maybe you take them out for a coffee, run them through a set of questions. Maybe it's as easy as sending them an email. But at the end of the day, you want to build some personal rapport. So meeting face-to-face is important. Giving a set of questions that each can identify with is going to be important. And then you can get a general feel for, are they going to help me achieve my tasks in a professional way, in an affordable way, in a way that's going to be scalable, right? Then you're going to start to give that team member that you've identified tasks for them to do on your behalf. So you're, in essence, testing them. Are they true to their word? Are they actually following through? Are they actually helping you in such a way so that they're taking more off your plate so that you can scale quicker and faster? And then finally, you're going to run the second half of this system through a rinse and repeat cycle. So you're going to go back, you're going to reevaluate those individual team members and say, all right, are they actually helping me scale quicker, faster, more efficiently, or should I go back to the drawing board and go back to the social media list, the network list, and basically help me through a filtration system so that I get the best of the best on my team, or do I already have that in place? Okay, so then finally what we're going to cover here today, as we're pushing the 5-minute mark, is who are those individuals that you should add to your team? And I've got a whole list here I'm going to go through. But first and foremost, my two most important team members are my attorney. And when I talk about attorney, I mean real estate attorney, as well as a business attorney, someone that can speak well when it comes to LLCs and to S-corps and things of that nature. And then a real estate broker. And that real estate broker has got to be hyper-focused, right? So you've already identified your market. Is that broker a special agent in that specific metro area, or are they just providing a shotgun approach for you? So you want to evaluate that. Your third most important team member, your property manager. And man, it's tough for me not to put this as number one, frankly, because your property manager is going to give you that insight when it comes to rental activity in the local area and buy and hold strategy to get you from the entrance strategy to that exit strategy with the least amount of headache. Okay. Home inspector is on the list. And, you know, a home inspector could very well be a general contractor. At the end of the day, it's that individual that can get into buildings and really help us filter out those buildings that are worth chasing and those that are duds, right? And then you want to have your vendor list, be it your plumber, your electrician, your carpenter, your roofer, your siding guy, the whole thing. So having said all of that, if you are in need of list of vendors, we have a list of vendors that we work with here in the Chicagoland area on our website. So you can go to chicago-realty-group.com, click on property managers, and you'll see a drop down that says repair vendors recommended. And we've got a whole list there if you want to start with a list of folks that you can filter through and see what's a good fit. Next on the list, mortgage lender, right? And I'm not just talking about one broker that you can fall through to every time. You want to have a handful of brokers, so 5. Maybe 3 residential guys, 2 commercial guys, with the idea that you can bounce deals off them, get a feel for what they're focused towards at that time. Maybe they're bogged down a particular week, so okay, they're not going to generate a pre-approval letter for you. But you want to have a handful of guys you can bounce things off of. So I always recommend 5. Next, private investigator, and a team through that private investigating firm that can serve tenants that are up for eviction. So, boy, I mean, I've got 3 that are on my list in the Chicagoland area. If you'd like, you can leave a comment on this video, and I'd be happy to respond with who we'd like to use when it comes to a private investigation firm. But that's always very important because you want your eviction process to go smoothly. Finally, a collection firm and an eviction attorney. So your real estate attorney may act as your eviction attorney, but sometimes there's a little bit of friction there. So you want to have an eviction attorney and then a collection agency that can act on your behalf once you have that judgment, so that ultimately you can chase that particular person down for that judgment, be it through wage garnishment or other means. Bonus here, and the bonus team member is one that I have found to be very helpful, and it could be an administrative assistant that acts on your behalf for marketing reasons, looking for distressed properties, being your bird dog, or it could be a marketing consulting firm. So once you get to a certain level, you're going to want to hand off those marketing tasks. You're going to want to hand off those administrative tasks, drafting leases and all that other good stuff. So it always is good to wrap our team member cycle around that. So that's going to wrap up the video for this week, guys. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. If you like what you saw here today, please click subscribe. We'll be back next week with another video on another topic pertinent to the real estate investor. In the meantime, our website again, chicago-realty-group.com. Appreciate you watching to the very end, and we'll see you back next week. Thanks.